Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look again at Meowscarada, but this time around in the Open Ultra League. And I can tell you already, this Pokemon is going to function way better in the Open Ultra League compared to the Open Great League. And for good reasons. To be fair, the one big reason for it is you have easier teams to build around it. I feel like the Pokemon that are available in the Open Ultra League are going to be a little bit better here. Compared to the Great League Pokemon that are available. Yes, of course, you can use Primeape and Talonflame as well in the Open Great League, but here in the Ultra League, they just have the extra bulk and are like a little bit stronger compared to the Great League, which kind of helps out Meowscarada. Also, of course, the combination of the Talonflame and the Meowscarada is kind of nearly perfect. Only Dragon-type Pokemon can defensively break this core here of Meowscarada as well as Talonflame, which is, of course, a typing that's still kinda common, but then if you're gonna take a look at the most common Dragon type, you have something like Giratina, which still takes super effective damage from something like a Night Slash, so it's not too bad. And so, we're gonna take a look here as well at, some very nice battles to be fair. Like, I honestly had a lot of fun with Meowscarada in the Open Ultra League. It was clearly better than in the Open Great League from what I've seen so far. And we will see as well a debuffed Frenzy Plant going to still do a solid amount of damage. We have our Primeape still for the Miltank, and then decide to forfeit. Next opponent, we're going to have a pretty neutral lead, but they decide to swap out into the Drapion. Here, because Drapion is going to be a bit tricky for Meowscarada, mainly because we don't do damage against them. They do at least super effective fast move damage against us, while all their charge moves are usually resisted unless they're running the move Sludge Bomb. We are still going to be able to get the shield here and now have our Primeape in a prime position to get the KO against the opponent. And also aligning our Meowscarada against the opponent's Gas Turtle with that as well, which is going to be very, very important. As we will see here, Close Combat is going to connect. They're going to go back into that Gas Turtle. We still can go for another Close Combat, doing some nice stab damage here as well, getting more than half of the opponent's health gone, and also now we can just align ourselves perfectly, going into the Meowscarada, getting some extra energy, and they reveal that they're going to have a Flygon in the back. Very spicy, but not too worrisome here as well for us, because we're gonna be able to still go for the Frenzy Plant, swap out into our Talonflame, and we're going to be able to go for the No Shield, because I know that I can just basically win the battle by just farming everything down with my Meowscarada, and that's going to be a very good game, as the Gas Turtle has nowhere to go, of course, and we can just go for the full farm down. We can use a shield here as well. We would be able to survive every single hit anyway, even in Earth Power, and so yeah, the opponent's gonna go down here. Still sorry if I sound a little bit weird, it's just, me being sick is not really ideal. You know what's also not really ideal is going to be the Skeleton swap in here. We're running, by the way, Flame Charge over the Brave Bird. I just want to try it out. Brave Bird is still, I feel like, the more recommended moveset here. I feel like in the Ultra League, I feel like it's better to actually have Brave Bird. I do think in the Great League, I could see a change of Flame Charge being a little bit better though. But for Ultra League, I feel like it's just better to have like the immediate damage instead of like trying to play it out for the long run. While yes, you have the extra bulk, the benefit of having Flame Charge in the Open Great League is that you're going to have less bulk on the opponent's Pokemon. Here, by the way, I make a big mistake as well. I decided to swap out of here. I wanted to catch a Disarming Voice and decided to go for the other one here, but I thought I would be able to go for the full farm down in time. Turns out I am not, and I should just went for a charge move. I would have been able to get either the shield or the alignment, and with that I would have had also easily this game here already for myself, and I completely screwed it up, and that is definitely down to me misplaying this one here for sure. And it's not down to Meowscarada or anything like this, but that's kind of showcasing again this battle would have been an easy victory if I just played it better. I didn't though, and that is definitely fine, because as we will see here, they can go for a Stone Edge, they can go for a Sacred Sword, and that's basically it for this battle, as it's going to be easily enough to knock us out. Next opponent, now let's see what they're going to have. We're going to have Talonflame against Clefable. That's going to be a great lead for us, especially as our backline is quite weak. They sub out into the Licky, and we have to keep alignment here, but I also kind of don't want to go for the charge move straight away, because I can take a hit now, but with a debuff, I don't really want to take a hit from the opponent's Licky. So I decided to go for the Close Combat here. This is going to allow us to get the KO here if they let the move go through, which they do, and we still have a ton of energy left, which we can use now against the Clefable to do some damage as well. We might be even able to go for another Close Combat afterwards here. I decided to go for the Righteous. I think Close Combat does more damage, even though it's resisted. It's just the harder hitting move, it's also stab, and so yeah, that was definitely a little bit of a mistake there. Hopefully it's not going to be too deciding, but they're going to reveal that they're going to have Zygarde in the back. And they make a big mistake here, because he goes straight for the charge move. This kind of tells me it's either Crunch or the Bulldoze, we will see here with a little bit of a lag and delay, it's going to be Bulldoze. It actually completely, I guess, bugged out for the opponent. They couldn't really go for any bubble. This was a 0 bubble Bulldoze. And so we're going to take advantage of this. We're going to be able to go for some Frenzy plants against the opponent and just try to get them low here. Well, yes, of course, we don't have even close to the bulk that the opponent has. We're still going to have at least some fast move pressure, and we still even get to the next Night Slash here, which hopefully going to put them into range where the Fly is going to be enough to knock them out from the Talonflame. We have to see here, though. We decide to let the move go through as well. It is going to be, again, another Bulldoze, which is going to be perfect for us. They get the debuff here, but it doesn't really matter, as a Fly is now going to be able to connect against the opponent. This is going to be fine, going to get the KO. And in comes the Clefable, which is going to now definitely get destroyed by either Flame Charge or the Fly. Fly is doing a little bit more damage. That's why we decided to go for that move as well. And so, yeah, so far no Flame Charge, but we definitely have some very nice wins so far. It literally showcases on how much potential this team has, but there's also one Pokemon that I'm a little bit scared of, which we're gonna see here in today's video as well for sure, so yeah, no real point to say it right now, just stay tuned for which Pokemon I definitely did consider while building this team. Oh, it's literally there, it's Tentacruel. I didn't know that it would be there, but yeah, Tentacruel is a bit of an issue. Tentacruel is definitely a big issue for this team. We're gonna still be able to go for a Fly. Maybe I should stay in and try to go for another Fly, but they decided to use a shield. I decided to go ahead and go into my Prime up here and try to go for the Rage Fist spam. This is my best play for this Pokemon. It is literally the type combination that kind of hardwalls us, but like that is kind of a unique typing at least. Like it's not really that easy to counter every single typing in Pokemon, so it is definitely always like something that's going to be a bit tricky. Yep, this Pokemon is just going to be a bit tricky, but let's see if we can still survive a hit here. We can, and we can still go for a Rage Twist to knock them out, so that's going to be fine here. The opponent goes down, they still have a shield advantage though. They're going to have the Drifblim here. I want to try to catch a move onto my Talonflame, so I go to maybe Meowscarada. I want to go for 4 fast moves, but they already reached their charge move after 3, which I did not expect, and so they can go for the Icy Wind here. Doing some solid damage, they're going to reveal that there's a Steelix in the back. Steelix is actually really good for Meowscarada because the moveset is usually Crunch, Earthquake, or Psychic Fangs as a charge moves, and Thunder Fang as a fast move. Everything is resisted from Meowscarada's typing, but because we couldn't catch the Icy Wind, we are going to be now in a position where we have basically no chance of winning this battle. They can just decide to use a shield here, go for an Earthquake or something, knock me out, and this is going to be it for this one. But again, very sad there, because if I would have been able to catch the move, I definitely would have been able to win the battle. Clefable in the lead again is going to be great for us. We can go ahead and go for the Flame Charge this time around, but they decided to swap out into the Jellicent, giving us a great opportunity to showcase our Meowscarada, which is going to be a perfect answer to the opponent's Jellicent, as we're going to resist all of the hits that they can go for, unless they're running Ice Beam, which I highly doubt, because Shadow Ball Surf is just like the ideal moveset on this Pokemon. So yeah, we will see here as well that we're going to be able to go for a Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant is going to be easily enough to knock them out. Night Slash would have not been enough, I think, in this range. So maybe I should still went for the Night Slash though, just trying to farm them down afterwards. It doesn't really matter, because we have Cobalion in the back. We know what we have to do though. We know that our Talonflame is our main asset here for this battle, and we know that we can go and basically stay in here, do as much damage as we can, and swap out then into the Primeape in order to align myself perfectly. They swap out, we can go for the Flame Charge, and now we at least see a little bit of play of Flame Charge here, because our attack is going to get boosted. We're going to do more fast move pressure against the opponent, and this is going to just allow us to have a little bit of a better play later on as well, because even if the opponent is going to play this out, they're going to be very likely able to swap out eventually, and we have to be a bit scared of the opponent's Stone Edge. And so we kind of want to get the opponent's Clefable low, we kind of want to get rid of the shields from the opponent, because then we would even have the opportunity to go ahead and go for the close combat later against the Clefable, for example. I still decide to use a shield here though, because I know that there's going to be a lot of fast move pressure coming through, and I know they can go for the full farm down here, and this is going to allow me just to get as much energy as I want, and this is going to be perfect, as now we're gonna still get to another close combat, and this is going to be it for this battle here. Good game to that Clefable, and we can move on to the next opponent. Moving on, let's see what the next opponent is going to run here. We're going to have Guslow in the lead again. Dragon-type Pokemon are going to be a little bit tricky, but Guslow is actually still okay for me, because I am going to be able to go for Double Fly. Double Fly is going to be able to knock them out. So it's not too bad. We can take it here as well, which is going to be fine. They might even want to use a shield here, expecting a Brave Bird. Brave Bird would do basically enough to knock them out. I think it just barely missed out on the KO. But Double Fly is going to be easily enough here, and so we're going to get the shield for sure. But also we're going to get the opponent to a range now where I'm going to be able to even go for something like a Night Slash and a Defense later on in order to knock them out. So it's going to be okay. We decided to use a shield here. In hindsight, I should have let the move go through, because the Dragon Claw just does less damage than the Scald would ever do here as well. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake here for me, for sure, but I might still be able to, win this battle here by using my Primeape to the fullest extent, because we're going to have, of course, now the energy advantage, and we're going to have the buffed Rage Fist, but then again, the opponent going to get the 30% chance to drop my attack here, which is going to completely ruin my plan, because otherwise, this Rage Fist will have been enough to knock them out, and now we have to swap out of here, and this is just going to completely ruin my plan. But it was necessary that I do this. I can still get a little bit of energy here at least with my, Primeape. We will see as well that the opponent going to have a Drapion in the back, and as I decide to use a shield, I know this game is over. Just 2 Pokemon in the back, or like 3 Pokemon generally speaking there, that were really tough for Meowscarada to deal with. There was nowhere where Meowscarada would have had a decent time against, so yeah, it's a little bit tricky there. We're going to see here the opponent having the Drapion. We're going to be able to still go for the Fly. This is going to allow us to get some nice damage. Now we can swap out into our Primeape, and we might even want to just go for the Rage Fist to boost our own attack. Have to see what the opponent does. They actually do basically no damage because of them being non-shadow and we are non-shadow, so we don't really have anything to worry about. We're just going to go for the full farmer now, and we're going to use a shield here. Or do we even? I think we can just let the move go through. Yeah, it's just going to be the awkward here. And we're going to get now some nice energy. We're going to get out again the Virizion, which has to take a hard-hitting move here as well with the Close Combat, which is already boosted, and it would stab, and it's going to do around 80% of the opponent's health. While they swap out into the Electivire, we're gonna still be able to go for another Rage Fist, getting that shield from them as well. And we have the Meowscarada, which has basically the weakness to Ice Punch, but Ice Punch is still not a stab move here from the opponent, so I'm not too worried about it. Ice Punch is coming through. It's still going to do a lot of damage here, but even here, I still have Flame Charge on my Talonflame, so I can even just basically try to play it out a little bit. I can use a shield here, of course. They go towards speed me, generally speaking, because they need 5 for the first one and 4 for the next charge move on the Pokemon, but it should be okay here. We decided to use a shield for a potential Stone Edge. They don't have Stone Edge, they have Sacred Sword and Leaf Blade, apparently. And so, yeah, it's going to be a bit of an awkward one, because we have to hit the Flame Charge. We can hit the Flame Charge and win this. It's going to be a good game here. And we can move on to the second to last battle. We're going to have a Renegator in the lead. That's going to be horrible. We swap out here straight away. We're going to try our best to go for the Rage Fist spam, trying to buff our attack as soon as possible. And I have to say, I feel like it's not worth waiting and overfarming at all. I would just go straight for the Rage Fist here as well again, which you're going to see here as well later on in the 2-shield scenario. Because I decided to overfarm here by 1. And this actually is going to be very impactful against me, which you will see here very, very soon. Because I decided to now go ahead and go for the shield again. I will be able to go for another charge move if I want to, but I would have been able to fully farm them down here if I just went for the Rage Fist immediately instead of going to go basically 1 over, because then my fast move would have done more damage a little bit earlier. And so that's actually going to be very impactful for the battle here. And also, what we will see here as well is that the opponent decides to use a shield here. I could have went for another Rage Fist. I should have most likely went for the Rage Fist first time anyway. But yeah, now they're gonna go for the Awkward Tail. We have to go basically into our Talonflame, and then I realized, oh, they're going to have a little bit too much energy now, because they're definitely going to outspeed me to the next move, and they would be able to knock us out, so we're forced to swap out of here. All the moves should be resisted onto the Meowscarada, but it's not really looking too good for us. It's going to be the Crunch, it's going to be resisted, it's not going to get the debuff either, but they're going to have the hardest answer in the back in Typhlosion, so yeah, there is nothing I can do. I decided to go for the Frenzy Plant, doing I think a little bit more damage than the Night Slash does, but we're going to lose a CMP tie here, and that's going to be a good game. Nothing I can do. And we can move on to the final battle for today. If you're still listening to this point, shouts to you, like, definitely. I'm sorry about, like, my voice. I can't really change it. I'm just a little bit too sick for that. And I don't really want to just miss out on uploads as well, so, like, that's the only way I can do it. Unless you want to see my girlfriend commentating over the battles again, because my voice is not good enough for you right now. That would be kind of perfectly fine for me, to be fair, but yeah, like, she is not sick. I am quite sick right now with a fever and everything. But as you will see here, Rachel is going to come up against the opponent's Weezing. That's going to be great for us, because we see here the opponent going for another Brutal Swing bait. I went for the bait before, I decided to use a shield there, but I'm not going to fall for it twice. And so we're going to be able to go for another Rage Fist, get the shield from the opponent, and should put them into range as well. We want Incinerate is going to be enough to knock them out. they're going to go for their own short move. It's going to be another Brutal Swing because everything else other than the Hyper Beam would be resisted anyway, and they swap back into their Swampert. I get some nice energy up here. They have the Hard Ins in the back here. Darkspawn is definitely a really good Pokemon for the Open League, but I did not really expect anyone having this Pokemon already fully built at this point. But this Madman definitely has it, which is kinda mad. But yeah, if you actually watch this video, feel free to send in some gameplay with it as well. But as we'll see as well, the opponent has too much energy at this point. I'm just gonna let the move go through. That's gonna be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you then, and bye bye.